How's it going, everybody? This is Beat the Bush. Today I'm going to go over 10 of my favorite products for 2023. These are all brand new products that I've tried, and if you've been following my channel, I've been trying to spend more money in order to try to improve my quality of life. At the same time, this is not all for myself. As you'll know, most of the products are not sponsored products, and sometimes I would even go out of my way to buy multiple units of the same kind of products just so I can compare them and let you guys know which one is the best one. Some of them indeed are sponsored products, but as you will know from my comments, you'll understand that this video is intended to be very unbiased. This video is brought to you by Moomoo. You can get up to 16 free shares of stock just for signing up and depositing various amounts of money. If you deposit just $100, you can get 5 free shares of stock. Deposit $1,000, you can get a total of 15 free shares of stock and a $50 cash coupon towards your purchase of $1,000 of stock or more. If you deposit $5,000, you can get either 1 free share of Tesla or EXPE. Check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Before I go into the actual products, this is not like a home shopping network or anything. In the shopping networks, it's usually sponsored, so they have one product. They don't want you to even show competing products. So right here, I got a DeWalt screwdriver, and also this thing, it's called a Hoto screwdriver. It's very minimalist, and I've been actually using this for a lot of my projects. Charges via USB-C. There's 3 torque settings and various screwdriver bits. This DeWalt is actually an atomic compact series, so to them this is really small already, but it's actually not small enough if you're gonna work on electronic products. So I like this guy. It comes with a metal dust cover. Fidget Toys helps me think. I talked about this infinity cube thing, and I still like this thing. This balisong trainer, it actually makes a lot of noise. See? It's not something you would do if you're like trying to think. So I enjoyed this for a while because there's a bunch of stuff that you can learn how to do. This infinity cube, it's more like there's nothing more you need to learn as soon as you learn the basics of flipping it. And so it becomes a passive device. I got this black one, which is called a Squiddy Bee, and you can hear. See, a lot less noise. I actually can't use this around my girlfriend because she just gets so annoyed because of the clacking sound. So I'm like, hey, okay, let me get this one. And she still doesn't like it, but then it's a lot better. You guys have seen me talk about this one. This is an Ono titanium roller. It's a sponsored product. The truth here is, I think it depends on your personality. Do you like something that's completely silent and you just want to roll around? This is more of like something you don't really want to think about and you don't really drop. This one over here, you don't have to think much about either, but it makes a lot of clacking noises. The Squiddy Bee is not completely silent, and you probably don't want to do this right at your desk if you're like coding, if you're thinking about something intensive. It just requires a little bit too much attention, I think. So out of these, actually this Squiddy Bee is the new thing out of the past month or so. Most of these products that I'm going to talk about, actually I got within this year. The New Wave induction cooker thing. Honestly, I think any induction cooker would work well. It's more about the form factor and if it's gonna last long enough. Induction cookers requires an induction pot or pan. I wanted to replace my butane cooker for hot pot. When you get a butane cooker, you have to keep on buying those cartridges, and I didn't want to keep on buying them, just plug it in instead. So this one, you actually need an outlet. The butane one, you can like bring to a campsite, right? So there are different use cases for each one. But if you're trying to go minimal, you probably only want one, so you could just keep on buying the butane cartridges instead of buying these induction ones. I got a hot plate that was around 1000 watts, and you can turn the wattage down on this thing down to 900. And I compared boiling 2 cups of water with the same pot. 4.5 minutes with this one and about 8 minutes with the hot plate. So for some reason, it can boil it much quicker, which means you're saving electricity if you get this. Nose hair trimmer. I've been reviewing a lot of products on my DIY channel, including some electric nose hair trimmers. Now, after reviewing 3 other nose hair trimmers, 2 electric ones, one of them was a MagSafe, one of them was a Philips, and the third one was a mechanical one, but a upgraded version of this, but you have to use 2 hands. This one, it's like a little old school, it's cheaper, but you just press it and it cuts your nose hair. There's no batteries to replace. It looks like it's gonna last forever. So this is something you just buy one time and then use it forever, and then you probably pass it down to your kids or something. Expensive Vinegar tastes awesome. Before trying this, I always just get my vinegar at Italian restaurants. They just pour it for you on a plate, and then, you eat it with whatever random bread, right? But this, I say the difference between good vinegar and, not as good vinegar is that the cheaper vinegar tastes more vinegary. It's like white vinegar, more of that taste. But the more expensive one, it's usually a lot thicker. If you like kind of swish it around, it stays on the edges. It's almost like a sauce. It has this sweetness to it, and it's made from grapes. And not only am I trying this one, I'm trying other ones as well. But this one so far has been a really, really good one. Around the $30 range. You might balk at it, but it is what it is. Self-sharpening mechanical pencil. I don't even want a mechanical pencil, but after I knew that there's such cool technology, I'm like, okay, give it to me, and I'm gonna start using the mechanical pencil. Why is this so good? Imagine this is a 0.5 millimeter diameter piece of lead. If you keep on writing on it, right, it's gonna grind itself so that it's really flat. And then eventually, as you're writing, you're going to make a really wide line. The thing that this Kurotoga mechanical pencil does is that it twists your lead around as you're writing. Every single time that you lift off and you press down, it twists it ever so slightly. The end effect is that it becomes like a cone shape instead. So the width of your writing is a little bit more reproducible. It's always going to be about half the width as the biggest width before. So this makes it so that your writing is a lot more consistent. If you don't have this, you are writing and then it gets really, really thick, you kind of turn your pencil a little bit, a quarter turn, right? Well, this pencil does it for you. It's not very expensive. It's like $6 or $7 or so, and you can get the technology here. MagSafe battery bank. How did I survive without this thing before? Well, you just have wires dangling around everywhere. But now you can just kind of slap it onto the back of your phone and it just charges it. But the drawback with a wireless charger is that it uses a lot more energy. I believe it wastes about 30%-ish of energy. Well, so what? You waste a little bit of energy, but you get the convenience of just slapping it on, and it's hardly noticeable. If you're like looking at maps or something as you're traveling, you just hold on to it like this. Previously, you would hold on to a different battery bank like this, and you have a wire that dangles around everywhere. Yeah, it's just slight improvement to the quality of your travel, I guess. I have to walk back on my words here because previously I reviewed something a lot cheaper like this one, a 4100 series Sonicare toothbrush. And when I use this, I'm like, oh, okay, it's probably the same as these more expensive ones. You look at the toothbrush head, it looks about the same, but I just kind of bit my lip and I'm like, okay, I gotta spend more. Where do I spend the money? Okay, why don't I buy this expensive toothbrush? So over here we got the 4100, the 6500, the 9500, and the Prestige 9900. I tried all of them, and there are feature differences between all of them, and the main one that makes me want to use this all the time, even though I got all these sitting here, is because it got a larger brush head and that it actually is stronger, and it makes me feel like it's brushing a lot better with less time. The two highest models have like app control. It tells you where to brush and all that. And the difference between the 9500 and the 9900 is they decided, okay, we don't need a whole bunch of different brush heads, like brush your tongue, gum care, teeth whitening or something. They just moved back to this one where it's like, okay, you get one brush now. You don't need a bunch of other ones. One brush will do for everything. So the realization I have is you just can't knock things before you actually try it. I've been guilty of doing that because I was so frugal. I'm like, you just kind of brush things off and go, it's not worth the money. It probably is the same. So then you're making assumptions here, which is some mistake I actually personally did. I'll do a more extensive review of these toothbrushes very soon. This is a Sorden earmuffs. I tend to have super sensitive hearing. So when people are like mowing the lawn, or like if I'm doing something that makes a lot of noise, I like to put on hearing protection. And this does 26 dB. And the great thing about it is that instead of earplugs where you actually have to shove it in your ear and usually kind of uncomfortable because it puts a lot of pressure in your eardrums as you're putting it in. This one, you just kind of open it up, you put it over your ear, and boom, you know, you got hearing protection already. And something that I have never tried before until I tried this pair is this gel pad over here. It looks like it might stick to your ear or something, but it actually is very, very comfortable. It feels kind of like skin-like almost. So when you put it on, this is the most comfortable pair of earmuffs I've ever had. I'm not trying to sell this to you and go, oh yeah, this is the best earmuffs ever, so go get it, right? I think you can actually drop this in the river or something, it'll still work, because this little turning plug here is for the battery. The gripe I have with this one is if you ever leave your battery in there and it starts leaking, it will be really, really difficult to get out. And I've had this issue with a Apple keyboard where the tolerances are super, super small for the battery compartment. And, you know, once it starts leaking, it kind of glues itself inside that compartment. So there's actually 2 batteries in this hole here. One AAA battery, and then you're supposed to like wrap it, they say. I'm still having a hard time getting it out. Like it didn't drop out yet. So the recommendation is wrap it on a towel. Other than that, there's this really comfortable leather headband over here. Leather makes things more expensive. And lastly, there is this cool toy called Geiger. Turn it on. When I first saw this, I'm like, you know, it's just like a little toy for kids because it's like brightly colored. But I've come to really like this because of the bright colors. It kind of look like Gundam colors. I gotta put it side to side and show it to you guys. I guess I have a thing for Gundams. Tell me that's not very similar, other than it's like if the black buttons is white instead, it'll look completely just like the Gundam. There's like 500 different levels, and it's on honors based system, right? You're supposed to match all the pieces to what it says on this little screen here. So there are a couple of extra pieces, so there's more variation. And the blue that's shown over here means it's vertical blue pieces, but the green, it's not like a weird coloring of blue. It means it's a horizontal piece. So once it's flashing, you just press it and say, okay, I got everything set up. And then you start moving stuff. And you're trying to get this red cube into this area right here. I'm uncovering it, right? You can, like, you know, definitely cheat and go, okay, I'm gonna move stuff, right? But honor system here, move it to the final spot and it'll sense that. And then it goes to the next level, and then you just keep on playing. If you play it for too long, you're going to melt your brain. I find that you can play probably 5 levels or 10 levels or something. Keep yourself entertained as you are on a car trip. Really great for kids, and they even sell like a little case. So when you pack it together, hold and turn it off. And you got 3 extra pieces of blue. I guess you can just use the paper box as a carrying case as well. Not as nice as just buying a case. They make cases just for this thing. Oh, there you go. Bring it around everywhere. I think it's a great way to get your eyes off of a screen and you're not staring at your screen as much. There's something about the way this plays, the color of it. I just like it. If you're interested in any of those products, check out my affiliate links down in the video description below. If in any of those items you know there are better ones out there, please let me know. I will actually go and buy it and do some research and do some comparison for you guys. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for more.